Welcome back, Know-It-Alls. This is Josh, and I'd like to say that I'm glad you're here. We greatly appreciate your feedback, so please feel free to message in with your questions and concerns to the email address answersforeverything@gmail.com. We hope you enjoy the show as much as we enjoy recording it, and remember, I smoke weed so that you don't have to. Enjoy the show.
Josh and I were just chatting about his new mic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all excited about it.
Oh yeah. Do you like it so far?
So far, so good. We'll see how the editing goes.
It's like this huge black mic right in the middle of the screen.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's got a life of it's got a life of its own. It looks so big it almost looks fake. That's what she
It's
said.
nice.
Instead of changing your background, Josh changes his foreground. It's
Exactly.
what do you call it? A screen? Blue screen?
Yeah.
We were talking about how like when I edit your setup, I never really have to change anything for loud or quiet or consistency. The vocals are very consistent throughout the whole thing.
For mine.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to
Really?
edit out the like when you breathe in, I catch it like all the time when you breathe in, and that's what I have to remove from yours. But we were thinking, well, Josh and I have a lot of that. Both of us have a lot of clearing our throat. Yeah, I try and mute my mic when that happens.
I have a mute button
Yeah.
on this one, so I'll try that out.
Yeah,
I've got a mucus button.
I
We should have a button. We should have a button you push it just goes.
well, I'm gonna take that little chunk of audio out, and I'm gonna have that so we can edit in wherever you want me to throw that.
There you go.
But yeah, we were thinking since your mic is literally the same spot no matter where you are all the time, away from your mouth, that's probably why it's so
Right.
consistent.
That's true. Because you guys move around from the
Yeah.
mic and I had this here. Now, see, if I was
Yeah.
using my boom and my mic that I used to be using, it'd be the same kind of problem.
I never had
So
that
what we're
problem with yours at all. I'm finding that with mine, I have to edit chunks of make it louder, make it quieter, make it louder, make it quieter. But even with your old boom when we were recording it, it was always very consistent. I figured it probably has
hmm,
to do with your late night DJ job. You're mic skilled, and I am mic not skilled.
is it my it's my sexy voice.
There, that's what it is.
Anything phallic shaped, he can master.
Oh, that's right.
Uh,
I was wondering why he
you're
had two hands on it the whole time, but now I know.
you're listening to the Answers for Everything podcast with Mr. Clay, Charlie Ray, and Josh.
You got a good voice for the radio, that's for sure.
That's
Charlie,
that's my when I'm trying voice. That's my you're listening to 90.1 FM KKFI, Kansas City Community Radio, the home of the high voltage rock and roll radio show every Tuesday, midnight to 2.
so KKI, you've never thought about changing that to KKK?
KKFI, I can't change this. The station's call sign.
Oh man, that station needs to get their game snap up, bitch.
I see. I just got to keep rolling with this voice all the time because that's the way the Night Prowler rolls,
So
baby.
we sort of had a rhyming thing there. Charlie Ray and Mr. Clay, and we could put
Yeah,
Josh
Mr.
who's gay. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, there it rhymes.
Charlie Ray, Mr. Clay, and Josh who's gay.
What's that? What's that one guy who's got the half black Asian lawyer or something like that? I forgot what they call quarter black. They call it quarter black Asian lawyer
That
or
sounds
something like that.
terribly racist.
It's louder with Crowder, I think, or something like that. Yeah, he's got a guy who's biracial and he goes by like yeah something like that. Yeah, think of it,
I wish I had a guy. I had a guy
Mr.
today.
Clay. Yeah, you had a guy today.
I didn't have a guy, but I had a guy who came and did my air rating on my lawn.
Yeah.
And he was strangely not too late.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Well, at first, I mean, we made plans to do it on Friday, and I said, well, I'm only at home till 5. He's like, I can come after 6. I'm like, well, let me rephrase the statement I made prior to this, where it says, I'm only home until 5. And then he's
For
like, what
my
about
previous
Saturday?
statement.
He's like, what about Saturday? I was like, Saturday, I will be home at 6 p.m. He's like, I can come during the day. I was like, I won't be there till after 6 p.m. So I mean, you can come do the yard, but I can't pay you, and I'm cool with that. And even today, I was like, yeah, man, I'll be home at like 6:10. So then he texted me at 4 o'clock. He's like, okay, I'm on my way. I was like, I'm not there until 6:10.
That sounds like a work answer because we'd have a situation like, hey, this back order is out of your location. We can either transfer stock to you and you can ship it from there, or you can move your order to our branch and we'll just ship it from here direct to the customer. What do you want to do? Response: Yes, that sounds great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Per our previous email, we're just like, screw it, just move the order here and ship it because they're a dumbass. So
That's why I said I didn't know if I would be on time today for this because I was expecting him to not understand how clocks work. But
it's like the cable guy. I'll be there between 2 and 5. What time does he show up? 5:03. You know.
yeah, but he was fucking awesome. He texted me and said, I'm working on somebody else's yard, and the neighbor came over and asked for it, so I'm doing their yard, and then I'm coming to you. And he says while he's doing the yards, he'll have neighbors walk up to him and be like, how much you charge? Can you do mine? So he's always behind because whenever he's doing a yard, there's always a neighbor down the street who sees the machine and hears it and figures, wait, this is way cheaper than me renting it, and this is way cheaper than the guy that usually go. Do you guys have aerators who walk around?
No.
Well,
Every spring
no,
we
not
got
really.
like
I mean, we have aerators, but I don't know if they just walk around.
yeah,
I mean,
we got
They
unless
do
they walk
school
ar- unless they
fields.
unless they walk around the yard with like spikes on their shoes.
no, they usually go door to door and they've rented the machine for the day. And I don't know how much it costs to rent, like $80 or
Oh
something.
wow.
So they rent
Huh.
it for $80 and they probably just go to a neighborhood and knock on all the doors and they're charging like $60 a pop. And if they get two or three of them, they've paid for their 4 hour rental and then they still get to go do more aerating for other yards. So that's usually what we
Wow.
have in our neighborhood. People just walk around offering that service. But this guy was on like a Facebook group. And yeah, man, he was awesome when he came in. Super friendly, super awesome. He did it really quick. He's good fucking guy. And not saying no to business, which I get being a business owner, right? He just like, oh, I'm just gonna put me behind, but the neighbor wants to get it done. And I guess he
Well,
just
besides that, you're already committed, so
yeah.
right. You already said you wanted it, so
How
Well,
beneficial to your yard is the aeration?
well, I've only done it once in the last like 8 years, and that summer I had the nicest grass I've ever had in my house. And
Oh,
then I haven't done it since because I don't have a vehicle to haul it from the Home Depot. So for because you can rent it, right? Like I said, those guys go around renting it.
yeah.
And I think you rent it for like $80 for 4 hours. They do a minimum 4 hours and it's $80. So you can't get it for an hour. You can't get it for 30 minutes. You have to do it for 4 hours. I don't have a truck to haul it. So I usually relied on those kids walking around. But my neighbors keep saying that I miss it because I'm at work when they show up. So I don't get the opportunity
oh,
to pay for it. But they're also
right.
charging like a lot of fucking money to do it. And I always tell my neighbors, like, if you got a guy walking around and they knock on your door, just pay them and let them do my yard and I'll pay you when I get home.
Yeah,
Right.
So
no doubt.
it's been like 4 years I haven't been able to do it. And finally this guy came up and I was like, fuck yeah. So I paid $50 and I
Oh,
hope to,
sweet.
right? 50 Canadian.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
I hope so. And my neighbor was nice enough to fertilize like 3 days ago. He just knocked on my door and said, hey, I just fertilized your front and backyard. I was like, dude, you're the best.
That's
And then you
nice.
sucked his dick.
Well, I sucked it
Well,
before and I think this was the payment,
Oh,
right?
perfect.
he,
Yeah.
he tickled the balls, worked the shaft.
Well, you have to. I mean, if you're not using
Well,
both
yeah.
your hands and your mouth giving a blowjob, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, yeah. I mean, take pride in your work. Don't do a half-ass job. I mean, that's what I tell all the girls.
The only time I think it's okay when they're only using their mouth is when they're laying on their back on the bed and their head is tilted over the edge and you're throat fucking them, right? They don't need to touch your balls with their hands. You're doing all the work and your balls are smacking them in the face. And every time you pull out, you see those eyes wide open because you just crammed your cock down their throat. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that was fun when we Eiffel Towered that girl. I high-fived you.
Yeah, that was fantastic. She got her money's worth that day. We
Oh yeah,
we made $11 each.
that's right. Wait a minute, you got paid?
Well, yeah, I got paid $11. You didn't get paid?
No.
Oh, I'm
Oh
so
well.
sorry to hear that.
Damn. I mean that
I bought a bunch of Fruity Pebbles yogurt snack bars from the Dollar General with my money
man, these days I'd probably only buy like two. The way the prices keep going up.
these days.
Oh, so what's going on, fellas? What have you heard? What's new in the world?
Well, I don't have anything new in the world except I do have something I'd like to bring to your attention because last time you guys asked about it and I had none. But I have three Urban Dictionary terms. And instead of doing it at
Oh,
the end of the episode, let's start off the episode with it.
sounds good.
Let's do it.
It'll get you guys in the
Yeah.
mood.
I'm always in the mood for sleep.
No. All right. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
The first term is bardism. Bardism.
Bardism.
Yeah. Like a bard, but
Yeah, of course. A
bardism.
singing, a traveling minstrel type
Yes.
person.
Yes. And this
Yes, a
has nothing to
bard.
do with that. Nothing. Nothing
Oh,
at
that
all.
sucks. That's how that was gonna be half my guess.
I know it's gonna be half my guess too.
Okay, well, why
Uh,
don't you guys give your definition using that just so I can say, no, no.
Okay.
Josh, do you want to go first?
Yep.
You
Bardism. Bardism is when a bard, who's also a traveling minstrel, pulls his penis and balls out of his pants, but doesn't pull his pants all the way down, so they're kind of forced in this sticky outy position, and he travels the town in this way, singing his favorite songs to the town, hoping they'll notice his front present.
I'm laughing a lot because I'm just picturing this dude with his little hat with a feather in it, his little tiny, is it a minstrel?
guitar thingy, yeah, like
Yeah,
a
his little, it's like a
ukulele looking
mandolin
thing.
or
Oh, there
something.
you go,
Yeah,
mandolin.
mandolin. Yeah,
So he's got his mandolin and because they're gonna have like bushy growler type, right? Because pubic hair was a thing back then, and he's just gonna
Yeah.
have this tuft of pubes, this wang of nuts hanging over his. They don't have buttons, do they? They probably just have
He
like
would have a buckle of some type, a big uncomfortable buckle.
I think back then it would have been like a rope, like they'd
that's
tied
like
up,
the
kind of like
drawstring.
a
Yeah,
thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, especially a
yeah.
poor old bard.
he's not a pilgrim. Pilgrims would have buckles.
Yes,
Yeah.
pilgrims
Oh,
would have
you're right.
buckles.
Can you imagine your
Yeah.
your gooch or your nutsack getting pinched in your buckle as you're
Oh,
walking around with your dong hanging out?
her exquisite,
No.
exquisite pain.
Anyway,
Well, maybe that bard likes that. It's how he hits the high notes. He keeps a string tied around his balls, and when he needs to hit the high note, he just kind of pulls on it. It's like, yeah! Bardism. That is when any man is having sex with a woman, and when you're having sex with a woman, you'll get like a leg cramp, and it like won't go away, but you're still trying to get there. Well,
yeah.
it's like that, but it looks like you're breaking into song. You don't actually sing. You just look like you're about ready to sing, and your face stays stuck like that for like a day.
Well, I can tell you that both answers are awesome, and you should see if you can add those answers to Urban Dictionary. But there's two meanings I have here. And the first one is having wild gay anal sex performed upon you while you stick as many dicks in your mouth as you can. I don't know why. I have no idea why or who would come up with it. And number two is jacking off while crying because of your lack of friends and family members that accept you.
Oh, that's what I do.
Wow.
Josh suffers from bardism.
Perfect sentence.
So, in a sentence, a man is saying this, dude, after that douche showed up to my party uninvited, he proceeded to perform bardism all over my guest room with some random gay guy. There was cum everywhere.
Wow. Well,
You guys have better
bardism.
answers.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary term number 2. Instead of asshole, it is ask hole.
Oh. I think that an asshole is pretty much anybody who is the secretary of the press secretary for the U.S. government. That's an asshole because you ask them questions and they just completely ignore the people asking the question. That's an asshole.
Oh, that's the Canadian government right now.
Yes. It's pretty much any government, let's be honest.
Well, they want
Wait,
to be
what?
held
You
accountable.
think? Well, yeah, I was going to say, you think we actually give a crap about you? Just pay your taxes and
No.
get back in the hole. So that's my version of an asshole.
Asshole. Asshole is when a man is so in love with his lady's booty hole that when he gets down on his knee to propose, he turns her around and says it to her asshole.
That's pretty brilliant.
I was going to say, it's kind of like the Oracle, like you speak into the asshole and it gives you an answer. Oh,
So, askhole is a person who constantly asks for your advice, yet
Ah.
yet always does the opposite of what you tell them to do. So in a sentence, Charlie Ray waves his hand. Yeah, one of you. Anyway, what do you recommend for dinner here? And the friend says, the pasta's pretty good. So then I look at the waiter and I say, I'll have a steak, please. And the friend's like, you're such an asshole.
Very
That's
nice.
funny. That's true. I've met a couple of assholes in my life.
Couple? They seem
Well,
to be more
I look in the
prevalent these
mirror
days.
sometimes too. What should I do, Charlie Ray? Charlie Ray tells me, and I go, nope, concerts it is. And I
So-
say, damn it, Charlie Ray, you're such an asshole.
Third and final for the week is kerp. So
What?
not carp like a fish, but kerp.
CERP.
CRP.
Kerp.
Kerp. Kerp. Kerp.
That's when you take a carp and you slam it against the curb and you go, kerp.
Kerp feelers.
Kerp feelers. Oh man. Kerp. Kerp is when you pick up a big girl and you power bomb her into the curb. Curbing that pig. The curb.
I'm surprised you could pick her up.
It wasn't easy.
But he made it happen. He needed a kerp. Pretty important.
Yes.
So according to Urban Dictionary, kerp is it's 4 words. That's the sentence. That's it.
Oh.
To have bloody sex.
What the hell did they come up with kerp?
I don't know, but in a sentence, man, it's that time of month, isn't it? But I can't wait to kerp tonight. Do you think it's the girl or the guy saying that?
The guy.
Well, I guess it could be 2 guys, right? They could kerp.
Wow.
Tell us about it, Clay.
Yeah. Have you been kerping lately?
I wouldn't say lately, but there has been some kerping in my life.
Me as well.
And I think it's because I got a really tight butthole, so there's always blood. Or maybe I had an ice cap before I started. The blood just comes with that, so that makes sense.
Just flows.
Yeah. I almost consider it
Wow.
like a lubricant, like a natural lube.
Of course.
No, not for you guys?
Well, I always figured it just made it a little extra lubedy-doobedy, you know. But I think I've only done it like once or twice in my life. So
Butt stuff?
no, just sex with somebody on their period.
Oh, I thought you were
I've
about
never.
kerping.
I told you I've never done butt stuff.
Well, you put your fingers in buttholes.
Yes,
That's butt stuff.
You put your tongue in a butthole.
That's butt stuff too.
Okay, you're right. I've never penetrated a woman with my wang. How about that?
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
I would
Well, I
love
wanted
to
to make sure you understood.
put your tongue in a butthole till it bleeds. That's some vigorous tonguing.
Yeah, that's
I guess
really
maybe
vigorous.
cats and dogs have that like forked,
Spiky
spiky
tongue.
tongue. That would probably kerp if you're getting that to go down on you.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't
yeah,
have to be butt stuff. It's just bloody sex.
That's true.
So you could
True.
be kicked in the kidneys, and then your wiener's gonna piss out some blood, right?
you have a huge hard schlong and you knock some teeth out, you could be kerping, you know.
Well, I'm never gonna have that problem.
Well, she's probably thankful.
Yeah. First time a woman's ever been thankful that you got a small dick is when she decides to do butt stuff with you.
Swiss Army dick, man. Swiss
That's
Army
right.
dick.
I'll look into it. I don't. Can I buy that for my body, or do I just have to be born with it?
You just got to be born the right size.
Damn it.
So, yeah. Just at the edge of the normal range and up to a little bit over. That's like Swiss Army dick.
So right below average.
No, right above average.
Okay,
Just
right,
above
right
average.
below average.
Well, that's close enough, probably for most girls. They can't really tell fucking distance anyway. I mean, till you mushroom print them, but you know,
And it's dark.
yeah.
You guys
I mean,
prefer
come
to
on.
bang in the dark or the light?
I've done both. I'd say it's equal.
I like it kind of in between, kind of. You know, I like the like dark, but like you know, with some light coming in from outside or something, so it's kind of like dusky in the room. You know.
Yeah, I turn like the hallway light on, but I close my door like 70%. So there's like
Yeah.
a little bit of light. But then after a while, your eyes adjust to it. Then you're like, oh man, why am I in this situation? I probably shouldn't have brought this one home.
Well, those are the ones you bring home, like on the what is it, the new moon when there's no there's no moon in the sky.
No, the
Yeah,
club is over.
you
They've
don't.
done last call. It's 2 minutes till it shuts down, and you just still don't have some. So you just look around for who's ever not paired up. You're like, all right, Mr. Clay, you're taking one for the team.
You're like, I'll
That's
take this
right.
land beast over here.
I've never called them a land beast, but I love it.
Land beast.
Can you address them as
Uh,
land beasts, or are they not cool with that?
Ham beast.
Well, you
Land,
can.
Yeah, I've heard them called ham beast.
No, they're the land beast.
land
Yeah,
beast.
there's a land beast too. Uh,
So here, can you just can I just put you in my phone? What do you want that under? Land beast?
Swamp thing.
do you want L beast or just land bee? I don't know. Yeah.
So other
So
than chirping,
yes,
spiked tongues.
spiked tongues.
What was that? What Josh said about the cats? And was it spiked?
Yeah, they do have like spikes on their tongue.
Yeah.
You ever had a
Well,
cat?
they have the rough tongues.
Yeah.
Barbs.
I was reading a thing. Do you remember? You ever see that movie, The Ghost in the Darkness? Did you ever see that, Clay?
Yeah, but the
About the
Lions and
lions?
Michael
Yeah,
Douglas? Yeah.
yeah. Do you remember them talking about how they licked the skin off of his body? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, because you think about how rough a little cat's tongue is. Now think about how big a lion is, like a 9-foot lion. It's huge, and how big their tongue is. And their tongue, take that roughness to the size of a lion's tongue, and it would just lick the skin off you. I mean, they eat water buffalo, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, think about how thick a water buffalo's hide is. We're just like this thin little pink shell. We're just like a little like popcorn nugget to a lion, dude.
And that was like based on a true story.
Yeah, well, sort of. The whole Michael Douglas part of it was all BS that they added to it. Most of the rest of that was true because it killed those lions. Those two lions, they're actually stuffed and on display at a museum. I can't remember where it's at, but they are stuffed, and they were maneless because the lions in that part of the country didn't grow mane, so they both looked like female lions, but they weren't. And yeah, they killed like 60 or 100 people. I don't know, a shitload of people. I mean, they were a real terror. I mean, they had to hunt them down. But a lot of that Michael Douglas storyline that he added into it was all just fictional bullcrap. But a lot of the stuff otherwise was true stuff.
And I want you to
So
think about this. So you're the lion, like one of them from that part of the world, and you don't have a mane. And you look over at your cousins, and they all have these majestic, beautiful, flowing manes. Do you not feel pissed off that you weren't given that?
no,
You would
I
definitely
I
have mane jealousy.
There we go.
I just go get like a Japanese tattoo on the side of my head and be like, I'm bald. Isn't that what bald guys do? Right?
Uh,
They get tattoos to look tougher.
It's hard for tigers to get tattooists to work on them.
Well, yeah, yeah, it's probably true. Maybe Mogwai or whatever his name is from Jungle Book would be like a tattoo artist for animals.
You mean Mowgli?
Mowgli.
Mogwai is like from Gremlins.
I don't remember, dude.
Oh, hey,
Mogwai.
we just found this guy living with like apes and stuff in the jungle. Make sure you don't pour water on him or he multiplies, and don't feed him after midnight. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He starts tattooing everything and goes wild with a tattoo gun. Next thing you know, dogs and cats are living together. Oh
And then,
yeah,
then he starts eating people.
exactly.
60 to
And
100.
not in the good way.
No, not in the way where you can curb. Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Yeah.
So other than those
Yeah.
things,
I have an exciting and real life news story that you might be interested in hearing about.
Sounds good.
I fucking love news stories. And I have no news stories.
Well, let's
right.
see here. Okay, this is an interesting story. And it happened in a Michigan area.
Detroit?
A woman was found living in the rooftop sign of a family fare grocery store in Michigan and had been there for about a year, police said. Police in Midland were notified about the woman living in the small space that hosts the supermarket sign on April 23rd after contractors working on the roof found her there. The woman had flooring, a computer, a desk, a printer, a Keurig machine, and a pantry full of food in the space that was 10 to 15 feet long, 5 feet wide, and approximately 8 feet tall at its highest point, according to the Midland Police Department. How crazy is that?
I think it's pretty fucking awesome. So she obviously either found a plug up there, like something that they probably plug other signs or like equipment that they're going to use, and she was
Yeah,
using that to
drills or something.
write something. Because I mean, unless she's like a ninja electrician and she like ripped open a wall and then found wires and just spliced into it, but I can't see that being a logical thing, right?
No, there's definitely a plug in there. How cool. She made a little space.
And they probably fucking got rid of her, didn't they?
Oh
Oh
yeah, well
yeah.
we're gonna find out, but
She's
I
not,
want to talk a
she's not
little bit
hurting.
about this.
But
She's not hurting
before you
anymore, is
go
she?
on, no,
Before I
before you
go
go
on,
on, yeah, there was a story a few years ago about a guy who had found like this little space in a mall that was like down this narrow hallway, and he moved all his furniture in there and lived inside this mall for like 4 or 5 years. It was like the size of a small apartment till he finally got caught. That was a pretty interesting story. But he
oh,
found like
awesome.
he found like this free space in the mall and basically just lived there. You know, he'd go in there when the hours of the place was open. He'd go in, he wouldn't come out, and when the place reopened, yeah, pretty tricky.
He had a secret way in and out, obviously.
Well, it was like this weird hallway type thing. It was like narrow. It was barely big enough for a person to get down, like between a couple of stores. I don't know. It was weird. It's kind of like they didn't finish the space and like close it off, and then it went back to the space. It was like a bigger space. It was a trip.
I could
So
see
anyway,
someone
Wow.
doing a reno on one of the stores and they were paying by the square foot, and then the stuff they were setting up needed a certain square footage, and they just built some sort of walls to give them a
right,
smaller space. And
right,
then yeah, that's
yeah,
And then it got forgotten about.
right.
right.
How the fuck do you discover that? Can you imagine if he's the guy doing renos and he's building these little spaces for himself whenever
On
he's doing a
purpose.
reno?
Yeah.
Wait, how the hell did he get all this furniture in there? He's like,
I
whoa,
I
just
don't
hold
know.
on here.
It was probably like IKEA. It was like flat, and
Oh
he
yeah.
dragged it in there and put it
Nothing to
together.
see here, folks.
Yeah, just me dragging a IKEA couch into the wall.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I have to applaud these people. Like I don't think I would be angry they were using my electricity, right?
Yeah.
And my water if they're using water. But other than that, they're not hurting anybody by being there. I mean, I
Nope.
would feel violated if they were fucking spying on me.
No one else thought of it.
Right. Right.
Cause
I'm gonna send a picture here in a second, but that's
it,
for my story, okay? And I'll tell you after we finish Josh's story here. So okay, so what happened with the lady?
Okay, we're gonna go on here in the
wait,
story.
hold on before you go on.
Okay.
Is this like above the like front doors like a light up sign? Is that something like that? You think?
No, it's showing like a. It's not really showing the sign. I'm hoping there's more pictures here as I go on.
So is it ground
But here we
level or
go.
is it like on the roof?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna find out. But
Oh.
apparently the people that were working on the roof found her, so that leads me to believe that it's probably up there. But
So
let's see.
so if that's the case, how the fuck did she find it? It's not like you're
Yeah,
stumbling
right?
around. I mean, as a teenager, I would climb on the roof of the Husky House
Right.
restaurant in Osuyas. Like I would do things like that. We spent a lot of time on school roofs. I don't know if Josh ever came out with us when we all worked together like 20 years ago, but we would go to one of the schools down on like on the Huntington border. Like if you leave, what the
Oh, I
hell?
know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever go up there with us?
I went up, yeah.
Yeah, we a whole
With
bunch of
Boone and
yeah. After work at like 11 o'clock at night, we just go and hang out on the roof and like watch the stars and just chill and talk. We weren't damaging or breaking anything.
I'm sure I was smoking weed up there.
Probably,
I smoke
probably.
weed everywhere.
See, that's why I said probably. But she would have to be on the roof to discover that. That's fucked up.
She's crazy. There's not much left of the story I just saw, so let's
Okay.
just finish it here. If I can open my phone. Okay. We made contact with her and she was advised she was not allowed to live there, said Brennan Warren, a spokesperson from the Midland Police Department. She was formally trespassed from the store and was provided with information on services within our area. However, she did not wish for any of those. The woman, who police are not identifying, left without incident. The police found that she'd been living in the space for approximately 1 year, but it's not clear how she was getting up onto the roof. Interesting. So there you go. They don't know how she got up there either.
That's
She probably
so,
flew up there.
well, I
I'm
mean,
guessing she climbed.
but
Unless there's some building that you could jump to it from or
A
something.
rain pipe or something she shimmied up every day.
but you'd have to
Maybe.
you'd have to know that's there to go up onto that roof. So she was just randomly probably going on roofs looking for places to hide out, places to stay.
Or maybe she was living nearby during that building's construction and she saw that there was a little area getting
Maybe.
available there.
Because I know there's a restaurant in the town I live in that has a ladder on the outside, like they went to Home Depot and they bought an extended like 20-foot ladder, and it's always there. Like I know to get on top of my business, I had to buy a ladder, but I don't leave it outside because I don't want somebody stealing my $300 ladder
Or going on your roof.
or going. Well, I mean, I don't own the building, but I have to go up there from time to time to reset my HVAC unit. The heat doesn't work, and then I just got to hit reboot and it works, and there's no button to do it downstairs. So
Do you save up milk cartons up there?
strangely enough, that was a high point in my life when I was doing that, but that's not what's happening now. So you want to explain that to Charlie Ray?
Back a long, long time ago, like 100 years ago, I used to work with Mr. Clay, and he used to save up milk crates. And I think he was building some sort of a wedding awning for him and his boyfriend at the time, but I'm not too sure what he made out of it. There was a lot.
Lover, not boyfriend.
Oh,
But
sorry.
I was just saving them because I thought it was funny. So I just kept
It was.
I just kept bringing them onto the roof of where we worked because we had roof access in our actual workplace. There was a ladder right
Yeah.
up to the roof, and I just kept bringing them up there because we were gonna have our lunches and stuff up there just so nobody could call us back to work. Like, hey, we're busy. It's like, well,
Right.
you can't find me. Fuck off. I'm gonna take my 30 minutes. Because I mean, we worked like fucking 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Just eat a fucking dick. I'm gonna take half an hour and there's nothing you can do about it. But
Yeah.
Right.
we would take these things up there to sit on because on the roof there's nothing to sit on, right? There's pipes and shit, but you don't want to sit on that. So we brought up those. You know what a milk crate is, right, Charlie Ray?
Oh,
Like if
yeah, I have
it's like,
several of them. Yeah,
right, yeah. So
I have several of them. Of
we were
course you
getting about 10 a week
do.
through our work, and I was bringing them all up onto the roof. And at one point there was probably about, I don't know, 250 of them. And I was building like a
Lots.
pyramid. I started with like a base, and then I kept going in one feet lower and lower and lower until there was like. And I remember one time something happened on the roof, something broke, and the owner went up there. I didn't know he went up there, right? I just said, hey, fucking the HVAC unit isn't working or whatever. And I figured he'd call a repair guy. And he comes downstairs and he had this vein that I seem to cause this vein a lot in his life working with me, and I totally get it. I get I'm not easy to work with. I'm very difficult because when you're doing the job 70 hours a week, you tend to know more than the people who haven't done the job in 10 years. They haven't done
Right.
they're walking around, but they haven't actually done your job in about 10 years. So I tend to think that I'm right about a lot of decisions. And yeah, so this vein, and you shouldn't argue with the owner. You just shouldn't, because they pay your salary and they could tell you to fuck off, and
Right.
you'd have to fuck off.
Right.
He came down in the kitchen and he puts both hands on a counter, and you could see he's seething, right? He's processing what to say, and he's looking directly at me because he knows nobody else is going to be this much of a fucktard. But I mean,
Besides you, yeah.
well, I mean, there's another person that's going to be one of the fucktards because he was breaking everything left, right, and center. But he's not clever enough to pull the stunt that I pulled. And this vein is popping in his temple, and he's like, "So, I was just on the roof, and I'm going to assume it's you, but why is there a pyramid of milk crates on top of my roof?" And I was like, well, I mean, I wanted to save them all the people that go out for smokes in the back. And we lived in a place where it rained, right? Like 8 months out of the year, it
Right.
fucking rains. And I was like, if you built a little thing in between your like garbage bins and your garbage enclosure, and you just put some cardboard or something on top, people can have like smoke breaks in the rain, but not get wet, right? Right outside
Right.
the back door, but also hidden away from public eye. So behind these like 8 foot tall fencing that keeps the garbage cans in there. And he's like, this has to stop. You need to remove those from my roof, and I don't want this happening again. So he handled it very well, very, very well. And then I thought I was a genius. I was like, well, all right, boys, I need some help on the roof. And we threw down like 250 of these milk crates into the garbage enclosure, and then we stacked them all up, and it fucking dwarfed the garbage enclosure. Like, can you imagine 250 of those milk crates stacked
That's
together?
a lot, dude. Yeah.
And then when the food distributor truck showed up the next day, you're supposed to send those back to get like a refund on it. And he's
Right.
looking at me. He's like, That's more than my entire truck. If my truck was empty, my entire trailer would be filled, and I still wouldn't even have half of them. I was like, man, but I gotta send these back. So I'm pretty sure the owner got a fucking massive fucking deposit back on that shit.
Oh, I'll bet he did.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine all of a sudden like, hey, we owe you $2,300? Like, I did you a
right.
favor, man. That's like free money that you didn't expect to get. You should be thanking me, not mad at me.
Wow.
But yeah,
That
I'm a,
is
I'm a fucktard.
but you know what though? You're at least cognizant of it. So I'm not sure that like mitigates a little bit of the tardness.
Fucktardery? Is that a word?
Yeah, it is now. We
Fuck
should submit that one to. I'll
Urban
tell you what, you
Dictionary?
should look up. Let's look up Urban Dictionary and fuck tartary.
Fucktardery. Can we name the title of the episode? Fucktardery, or will that
I don't know.
I,
We
I've
might
done I've done F asterisk asterisk K in the title, or asshole. I did A dollar sign dollar sign. Okay.
fuck tartary. Urban
Okay.
Dictionary. People who just do shit for shit's sake and really should know better. I know it's fucking shit, and he's a fucktard, but you're way better than his lowly cunt fucktardery.
That's that's fucking perfect.
Yes. Further definitions: fucktardery, the quality or state of being a fucktard. Two, a total lack of intellectual value, something done that defies common sense or any sense of any kind. Three, showing a complete disrespect for societal values and or scientific fundamentals. Four, anything done, said, or created that any reasonable person would never have considered. You summed it all up in that story, Mr. Clay.
That's perfect. Does Josh, your mic
Wow.
work? Josh, your mic isn't on.
Uh, Common problem that occurs in
How about
Canadians
now?
with there you go.
Yeah, that the fucktardery, that's fucking flawlessly perfect.
Perfect. Yes. The definition is exactly 100% the description of your story.
Wow. Congratulations,
Yes,
Mr. Clay. You're now one of the people you fucking hate.
that's right. So, yes. Wow. So is that the end of the story? Is there more to it?
That is the end. They didn't solve many mysteries there. I wish there would have been some photos of her little hovel there. There weren't.
What if she's
Well,
like a TikTok influencer and she's been taking pictures and uploading how to live really cheaply? That's why when they offered her different like avenues of survival, she's like, "Yeah, pass. I'm used to living for
She's like,
free."
I have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I have an OnlyFans. That's like the drunken girl, like at the end of the night at the bar. I've got an OnlyFans.
See that
Uh,
that's the land beast that I'm going for
Yeah.
because then I could
I'm
get on
like, well, then you should
camera.
be home making money. Don't be out spending it. So,
Oh, girls don't spend money at the club.
She
When?
needs dudes for content.
so I've got a story for you if you want to hear my story.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
So have you seen the picture that I sent over
Oh, I don't have anything from you. Should I check my Jamie
on
email?
Facebook?
Jamie
Yeah.
sent something.
Yes. Let me know if you see it.
Uh, uh,
Oh,
is like raccoon? Like no rat?
No, it's a sidewalk,
Yeah.
and there's a
with a
hole in
rat.
it that they call rat hole
Okay.
because it looks like a rat. So apparently, I'd never heard of this, and for now I won't be able to see it at least until they do something with it. But apparently, this is famous in Chicago in this place called Roscoe Village. There was a piece of a sidewalk that had developed into a rodent-shaped hole, and it was a famous kind of landmark that people were like, "That's the rat hole." And so it's been there for several years, I guess, and they recently removed it. They didn't break it up. They cut out that section
Okay.
of the sidewalk to and so it's still intact, but it's no longer there. They've replaced that section of sidewalk, but the section of sidewalk that's got this rat hole. Okay, so people who don't have obviously can't see video of this unless you look the story up. It looks like it's a hole in a sidewalk that looks like the shape of a rat, like a outline rat like died there or something. But
It looks like a like Wile E.
so
Coyote. fell off a
Yeah,
cliff,
exactly.
landed in the sidewalk, and the shape was in his body. But it's a
Yeah, I
rat.
mean, it has like a little,
But
it
it's
has
a
like a little
rat.
hand, and like it has like little hands and everything. I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, did something happen? Like, was a sidewalk like when it was being made? Did a rat fall into wet cement? I don't know what the heck. But anyway, so it's been known as kind of like a neighborhood landmark or whatever, and they removed it and are replaced that section on Wednesday,
Yeah.
because apparently there was complaints from neighbors because of all the people coming to look at the rat hole.
Really?
Yes, because people are petty bitches. Um, so and as also considered a tripping hazard.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, okay, maybe that's a problem.
At this point, the rat hole sidewalk piece will be preserved, moved elsewhere, or destroyed. It's not determined yet. The rat hole's future is up to the Chicago District of Transportation. And then, like I said, they're going to replace the square. Um, so the hole has existed apparently for decades. And I guess I guess somebody got fired up because a local comedian had posted about it on social
Yeah.
media, leading it to it going kind of viral and getting lots of people coming by. Like, even though it had been there forever, it hadn't been that big of a deal. But because
Yeah.
of that guy's post, there's this quiet, it was a quiet street, but now all these people were coming down to look at it, and somebody had filmed a proposal, like a marriage proposal by it. I'm like, why the hell would you do that? I'm like, first of all, second of all, we need to interview that couple. Secondly, anyway, and people were putting like money into it. People were leaving like alcohol, weed, and condoms. Man, I'd be like the guy to come out every night and be like, "Ooh, free weed and condoms." I
What do
mean,
we got tonight?
yeah, it's in time for Dirty Mike and the boys. Uh, so anyway, people were saying it's like living next door to a celebrity. All these people coming by, um, and so I guess they were just tired of it. Somebody was tired. Some bitch ass was tired of it and complained. Um, This one lady says she appreciated people who left coins because she'd take some and use them for laundry. I'm like, that is so hilarious.
See, logically, if that's happening like in front of your house, right? That's like your claim to fame is like the little portion in front of your house had that. Would you not fucking make t-shirts? If you're getting all
Yeah,
these tourists
Yeah.
coming, I would just be making fucking bank. I wouldn't put the name of the city on it. I wouldn't put like the name of the
yeah.
county. I wouldn't put
No,
the
just put
address,
rat hole on it.
right?
Rat
Exactly.
hole, and then have a picture of
I
that.
don't. It'd be more funny to say I visited Chicago and all I saw was the rat hole,
Right?
or something. Of course, if it was a rat hole in New York City, it'd be like the size of that entire picture I showed you. The whole set a 4 foot rat. I mean, Jesus, have you ever seen some rats like a New York footage of rats? They're huge.
Yeah. It's like a
Yeah,
fucking grown raccoon. You're like, what the
I
yeah,
fuck
would
is
make a
that
yeah.
shirt that said, "I drank the rat hole puddle,"
shit?
because that's what it looks like, right?
I'd
It fills
never
with
heard of
water.
this, and I've been in Chicago many, many times, and nobody ever said, "Hey, Charlie Ray, have you seen the rat hole?" I'm like, I don't know, but I passed a couple on the way to the bar. Uh, anyway,
And now you
that's my weird news story. Is just that they took the rat hole sidewalk piece out. So
No, put it back.
I know.
it's
So
such a massive way to make money. I remember being in, I think we talked about this. Maybe Charlie Ray and I did. But when I was in Scotland, there's a town called Penis. Like on the
mm,
Isle of Skye, it's called Penis. Peiness. That's the name of the
uh-huh,
town. But there's no street sign because they were all getting stolen. So there's like
right,
like when you're driving and you see a sign that says, penis 3 miles this way. So, or you hit a like a fork in the road and there's like penis is this way and then Lachlan is that way, right? So you're in
right,
Scotland, there's those signs, but the city council had them changed. So instead of penis, you can see that they glued letters over top. So it says penis, right? Or they
uh-huh,
added, yeah, they were changing it. So I went to one, I go to take the picture, and you can see clearly they tried to edit it. I was like, what the fuck is this? So then I go like
right.
half a kilometer the other way where there's another fork in the road, which I know there's going to be another sign, and that one was edited as well. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is so stupid. So then I'm driving through the little town. There's like a school and like 8 houses. It's like the smallest little hamlet. And then I'm on this like dirt road in between houses, and I pull over to take a piss. And in front of this guy's house is a post right in the ground, says penis. And then
Yes.
his gate on his house is like 3 penis. So his house number is number 3 out of like the 3 or 8 houses or whatever. And it had penis on it. I was like, this is fucking awesome. So I took a picture And then all I can think about is this is a fucking gold mine for them to make money for touristy shit. Can you imagine like
Oh
dick
yeah.
chains, t-shirts, like ice cube trays shaped like penises? Oh my God.
It shames them.
It's just so stupid that there's like 8 people who live there in a little tiny school. Like, are you really
Oh, they could be
that?
making bank. I mean,
Yeah,
they'd have enough money for anything they ever wanted.
yeah, they would
I
never
mean,
have to work.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Officially licensed
yeah,
penis.
yeah.
Now entering.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now exiting. You sell condoms. Now exiting. Penis. Like it'd be fucking
Yeah.
awesome. So I
It
think
would be perfect.
there's already enough tourists. It's the Isle of Skye in Scotland, and it's extremely busy with tourists in the summertime. It's just tour bus after tour bus after tour bus. It's gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
That's where they find alien cave paintings in the movie Prometheus.
On the Isle of Skye.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I watched that movie, but I watched it before I knew what Isle of Skye was. So I should probably go back and watch that movie.
You should, because it's a good movie.
Yeah, I remember enjoying it.
I know how we're going to make enough money for us all to retire early.
We moved to penis.
Yes, we've got to find a small town somewhere,
Yeah.
buy it all up,
Okay.
change the name of the city because we can change the name of the city because it's our
Oh,
city.
oh my
And
God.
then we can just change it to anything we want to change it to. So we name it to something awesome, and then we just license merchandise
How about
and just
Curb?
sell merch. Yeah, Kerp. That would make sense. Man,
No,
I got a
not
bad
enough
I got
people know what that is.
I got a bad case of Kerpies. God damn
Bardism?
it.
No, not a good name.
No.
No. I think we should call it Twat.
Twat?
Wasn't there a city named Twat? Didn't you
There's
find one that
a
was
there's
called
a
Twat?
twat in northern Scotland
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already got a twat
Well,
then.
yeah, but you know
on
what?
Orkney Island.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a Springfield in every state in the United States. So, I mean, there's
True.
no reason there can't be two twats in the world. I mean,
Oh.
the more twats in the world, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Name
Yeah.
it
You know,
Springfield.
yeah, I mean, ours will be the best known twat in the world, if we market it right.
Until we get someone to move into our town that's like, this is inappropriate. I don't like
Yeah,
this.
but we would own all the land, so we wouldn't sell any of the property.
How much money does
So
it cost to buy a town?
I don't know, but you would think that we could find somewhere that was like bum screw anywhere, like someplace like, oh, this place has no redeeming value anywhere. This guy bought like this like ghost town somewhere like out west for like, I don't know, maybe a couple $100,000 something. I don't know. Maybe it's more than that, but I mean, you just got enough. We just got to have enough money to buy the land. Is the problem. But the thing is I forgot. There's like, it depends on the state, I think, but it's like how they define a town as a certain number of residents, certain, whatever. And I don't know. I mean, it's just an idea. I mean, there's a guy that's literally turned himself into a multimillionaire making videos where he doesn't even talk. He just shows other people's videos, then he demonstrates how to really do it, and he goes like this.
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
I like the idea, but I want to start my sex cult.
So
If I can if I can do the sex cult there. And there's
Man.
a couple of ghost towns here in BC. I've already looked into this.
There you go.
so you want to buy Ghost Town and start a sex cult?
Yeah, where all
That's
the
so
people's
that's so
wives have to
cliched.
sleep only with me, and I'm like, no, you don't get to sleep with your wives.
Yeah. Okay. So how? Okay, I know. I applaud you. That's a great idea. The only downfall I can think is who's gonna move to this town if they know they have to give their wife to you.
Well, they won't know right away. See, I'll make it look very attractive in the proposal.
Okay.
And then once they're at the town and things seem like they're totally cool, that's when I flip the script on them. This is how it actually is, sirs.
Or what you can do is you do what Charlie Ray says and you change the name to something and you say when you buy a house here, you get to share in the profits of us selling merchandise for the name of our town. And then
Yeah.
most people, when they start collecting money for nothing, they're going to let other things slide by that they don't really care that much about. So they're going to be like, I'm making a lot of money. Do I really care that my wife is fucking that guy? Because I'm making good
No.
money living here. I don't want to leave. Yeah.
Great idea. Genius.
You just find a girl who likes to be a hot wife and just make her your wife and let her go. Like fine, have sex with him. I don't care.
They all would be.
Yeah.
Would you
And
make
then after
them
about a
make
year,
love to you?
we'd have to bury Josh because he's so worn out from all the sex he's having. We're like, here lies Josh.
But he died happy.
Master of
He
kelp.
died with a smile on his face. Here in the town of Twat.
Incorporated in 2026.
What killed him? Twat.
Too much twat.
That's right. He should have tried butt stuff, but he had twat.
But he was in twat.
You
That's
probably
right.
couldn't name it butt stuff, could you?
Name a city butt stuff. That would be funny.
Well, I mean, I'm taking a road trip in France in the next couple weeks, and I'm going to bouche porn, and bouche is the French word for mouth, so mouth porn.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and I'm going to drive by a town called Sex, Seix, and condom. I'm very
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
And pussy.
That's where condoms were invented. Those guys suck.
Well, just because they're invented doesn't mean we have to use them. And sadly, the two towns that were on my list are a little bit out of the way. I might have to go next time, but it's anus and orgy. The name
Oh,
of
no.
yeah, they're too far out of the way. Unfortunately, I know. And so is breast, too far out of the way.
And you're going on this trip soon?
At the end of May. I'm gone
Oh,
for
nice.
yeah. Although this episode will probably be released in July, is my guess.
Yeah. So you would have already been on said trip.
It's true. It's weird to think.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for my little trip at the end of May as well.
Ooh.
Except I'm not going to far off places like you. I'm just going to Pender Island.
It's still awesome because trips rule.
Yeah, I'm excited. I get to compete in a disc golf tournament.
What if you
Oh,
win?
nice.
Do you get to take everyone's wife and be like, this is how
Oh man,
how it
I
is?
wish. There's a few ways to make money in this tournament. You can get a hole in one just on any shot. You'll get instant cash that way.
Who pays for
And then
that? Like, do you guys pay fees and then the money gets divvied up for stuff like that, or is it all sponsored?
exactly, like we pay fees at the beginning, like the tourney fee, and then a certain amount of it goes into this pot, a certain amount of it goes into this, and yeah.
And where's the island? Where is that?
Pender Island, it's the furthest south Gulf island of the four here in BC.
So like you take a ferry from like Towson or something and it takes you to Pender
Yeah.
Island?
Exactly. But first it goes to the first other three islands, which
Oh.
are Main Island, Galliano, and I can't seem to remember the fourth one. And then eventually it gets to Pender. And it's pretty small. I mean, not much going on there, but
Well, not until the golf
Pender.
tournament.
Pender. Pender Island?
yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Did Jamie
It's
just
in
send
the
you
s-
something?
Yeah, it's in the Strait of Georgia between Vancouver and Victoria.
Hell yeah.
Only 13 square miles. It's one of the smaller islands in the Gulf Islands with a permanent population of only around 2,500 residents, and then more in the summer when seasonal weather permits.
Wow.
There we go.
Very cool place. Looks pretty beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's pretty fun.
Mhm.
Are you gonna try and find some people's wives and convince them to leave their husbands for a couple hours?
I'm always on the lookout.
You're like, hey, I just got a hole in one and I'm winning
Yeah.
this tournament. One day I'm gonna own my own town and you're all gonna be involved in my sex slaves. Wait, no, sex cult.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll appeal to women if you say it like that? I think it's pretty cool, but I'm
I
not
think
a
it's
woman.
worth a try.
Absolutely. Might as well start scouting that out now. So there you go.
Is that a wrap?
Huh.
I don't know. I don't have any more stories. Do you have any more?
So I don't have any more stories, but if you guys do.
No, I got nothing. I say we end it. But I think Charles had a
No.
question for you in regards to your sex cult.
Okay.
I
I'm
did.
all ears.
I don't know. I have a question in regards to your sex cult. I asked the question, which was, do you have a name for it?
And I
So-
don't have one yet. I'm going to
Yeah.
decide on the name of the township first, and then I'll start thinking about the name of the cult itself.
Well, there you go.
Maybe using the word twat might not work.
Yeah.
Something that has to sound like a trap, like a honeypot.
Just call it a honeypot. The honeypot sex cult.
Yeah, there's no like curtain here for the wizard to hide behind. It's pretty much all out on Front Street.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
Full transparency.
Yeah. No, I think that's the way to go. You don't want to trick people. You want them to join because they want to join.
Yes.
Except for the guys, you don't care why they're there as long as they bring a hot wife. That's your main concern.
That's what I want. Yeah.
That is correct. Yes.
Imagine getting that town and then you're trying to like rifle through all the resumes of people that want to move to your town, all the applicants, And you're like, well, your wife's pretty hot, but you're also pretty hot, and that's like competition, so you don't get to live here.
It'd be nice being able to choose them all like that.
It would. Well, I mean, it's your town. You do get to choose them like that.
Yeah, I decide who comes in and who doesn't.
That's right.
That's
Your
right.
wife's not hot enough. I'm sorry.
Unless I close my eyes or close the door like to the 90% mark in the hallway instead of the 70% mark that Mr. Clay does.
Yes.
And then even a 3 is a 7. But that's just my secret. Don't share it. It's kind of the way I.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
All right.
Chat next week.
yeah.
All right.
We got to close this one up and peace out.
Peace out, Knowitalls.
Peace out, know-it-alls.
So when you watched that link that I sent you for the Greatest American Hero theme song, what were your thoughts while watching it or listening to it or both?
At first, I didn't know what it was because I had forgot about that conversation. But as soon as I recognized the song, I knew exactly what you were talking about. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I was trying to like piece together how they changed the words and stuff to it. It was really good.
So, yeah, it was like one of the #1 selling songs of the 80s. And it was
because I've heard that on the radio before.
Yeah, and it's for a TV show, which is really weird. I don't know if it came out like, like the Friends theme. I don't know if it was on an album first and then they used it for the Friends theme, or if they used it for the Friends theme and they put it on an album.
Oh, I assumed it was made specifically for that program.
For like the Greatest American Hero?
Yeah.
It could have been. I honestly don't know. I'm sure there's a Wikipedia on it. You could find out.
Because the words of the song kind of went with it, right?
But yeah, just like when we're talking about the George Costanza thing, it's double funny for me because like out of all the songs in the world, you take like 9 years later after the show is no longer on the air and you choose that for the theme song. Pretty funny.
Obscure.
Right? But a really good song. Very good
great song.
Yeah.
And he cleverly changes the words just to mess with people that call him. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm really glad you got to experience that. And if you have Prime, the Greatest American Hero is on there. I think the first couple episodes are worth a watch because it's entertaining.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of those kind of shows on Tubi, but they just do not hold up.
Oh no, it doesn't hold up. That's why the first couple are okay. Then after that, you're like, I'm done with the goofy shenanigans and the you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's tough to watch. You want to like it, but it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah. I remember being a kid and it was on, I don't know what, I want to say Thursday nights and 7 o'clock. And it was like one of my favorite shows and I wanted to watch it. And then my mom had plans to go to like her brother's place to go, I don't know, play Trivial Pursuit and have a couple drinks, whatever the adults did back then.
Bingo.
Right? Whatever it was. Yeah. And my sister and I were too young to stay home. So we had to go and I was mad because I was going to miss the Greatest American Hero. And that was pre-VCR. So we didn't have a VCR. So I was a genius and I unplugged the TV thinking like, well, this isn't going anywhere. And my mom tried to tell me that that's not how it works. And I was like, shut up, you're old, you don't know. And I was like 6 and, or something along those lines. Like, fuck you, you dumb bitch. You have no idea.
This will pause it.
Right. Exactly. And then we got back to the house and I plugged it in and I was like looking at it. She's like, oh, you dumb bastard. You're so fucking stupid.
Did you have a hissy fit about it?
I don't remember that. I just remember unplugging it. I remember being 100% wrong. And that's the end of that. Yeah.
That's a sad tale of Clay's youth.
Sad tale.